welcome into the Action 2 News newsroom. We are getting ready. We are T-minus just a few minutes until the unveiling of the clock for the NFL draft. We've been kind of following it all day, and I want to bring you a recent photo that was just into our newsroom. The bikes have made it from Milwaukee, a more than 100-mile trek along the lakeshore, handoff from the ferry this morning in Milwaukee, and then all the way to Manitowoc, to the Fox River Trail, across Bart Starr Memorial Bridge, and all the way to Lambeau Field. So let me pull up that photo here. There you see it. In a clear bag, of course, that is the ceremonial football, the baton handing over from Michigan to Wisconsin. And now we're seeing a little bit activity in the atrium, so let me pull that in here for you. People are getting set. I believe the bikes have arrived. That is a long trek, so bravo to them for making it in a great time. The unveiling of the clock is set to happen here shortly. We'll bring you that press conference live, of course, for you. Again, this is the official handoff of the NFL draft to Green Bay. Here, that's where you're looking right now. That is the clock. It's going to be ticking down till game time next year. Right now you can see it's covered with a black tarp, but they'll be unveiling that here in just a little time. Look at how excited people are. They're ready. Smiles across all their faces. They got their green and gold on. Looking good. Our cameraman's kind of giving us a view of Lambeau Field if you weren't able to make there. There's some of the bikers. I'm sure they are relieved to be done, and the football made it all in one piece. They had a few really cool stops along the trail, some historic stops. We know that the draft is really big on wanting to make sure that they highlight what Wisconsin all has to offer, because we are expecting hundreds of thousands of people heading to Titletown next year. And President and CEO Mark Murphy even said it himself. He says, we're going to need help from all of our communities in Wisconsin to house some of these fans coming into our area, because here in Green Bay, we just don't have enough room for all those people to stay at the hotels. So they're really relying on communities around Green Bay to pitch in and help out. And then they're hoping that people kind of get a glimpse of what Wisconsin has to offer and plan more trips here in the future and kind of make it a destination of tourism. We know that this draft is expected to bring in tens of millions of dollars to the Wisconsin economy. There we're kind of watching as they get ready to have that presser. Again, I can show you a little bit of the ferry that happened this morning, where that ferry handoff happens. Let me pull that up for you here. It's really a cool sight. There you see it. That is the lake. That is the Lake Express ferry heading from Milwaukee. There's the honk to Wisconsin across Lake Michigan. The ceremonial football handed off. There we see the bikers getting off, heading this way, and you've got Governor Tony Evers there with a strong grip on that football. He is not going to let that go. And he even said in his press conference that we're not going to fumble it. It's back home. It's here in Titletown. And so that football was then given to the bikers, who made their trek all the way back up to Titletown. And I can show you a little bit about the path that they took as well. Let me pull that up here for you. So it started at the Lake Express Ferry. Then they made a few pit stops in Milwaukee. They stopped at the Milwaukee Art Museum as well, home to 30,000 pieces of art. A really big historic impact here in the state. Then they made their way to the Oak Leaf Trail, which is a trail that spans miles connecting along the lakeshore of Lake Michigan. So we followed along there as well. We have some aerial views. And then they made the longer trek. Those first few were just a couple miles, 10 miles here and there. But then they made that like 80-mile trek from Oak Leaf Trail all the way to Farm Wisconsin Discovery Center along the lakeshore in Manitowoc, where it really has a deep compassion and deep connection to Wisconsin's agriculture history. So then from there, they headed over to the Fox River Trail in De Pere to connect there. Then the final little hike here, so along the Fox River Trail, then they took a ride over the Bart Starr Memorial Bridge, very fitting there. And then they made their final trek back over to the Ray Nitschke Field. That is where they were meeting up with kids on their bikes. Remember this? This is just a classic tradition here in Wisconsin, and it looks like we might be getting this started here, so I'll pull that up for us, listen in, and we'll get started there.
What do you think, Jeff? Come on now.
He will be the first to talk to all of us. And then you got Packers, Aaron Packers right there next to him. He made the trip with the bike today. So, all right. We'll listen here shortly. Once again, I'll show you that the kids there that probably rode their bikes over and along the way to Lambeau Field, escorting that precious football coming back to Lambeau Field. Get that here for you, getting everybody set up.
How you doing? You made it up
We
here,
got the cheese head.
Well, good evening, everyone.
Here we go.
How is everyone? Having a good afternoon? Well, we're getting our last few kid bikers in position, so come on up there, youngsters. All right, don't be shy, don't be shy. Well, what a beautiful afternoon we had here on our way from Milwaukee all the way up to Green Bay. And on behalf of the Green Bay Packers, really excited for today's event. My name is Aaron Popke, Director of Public Affairs, and we've had a wonderful day. And we want to welcome all of you here to the Lambeau Field atrium. And we're excited to finish the handoff from Michigan to Wisconsin. We've got a lot, yeah, all right. We've got a lot of supporters here today. Pleased to have them here with us. And we'll hear from a couple speakers here at the podium, members of the media. May have some opportunities afterward for further interviews. But really excited about all our supporters here today, our bicyclists, our kid bikes. You know, we've got a number of supporters here in the atrium, some of our elected leaders and other community leaders. Thanks for coming out today. And I got to say special thanks to all our bikers today. So, one of my fellow Packer employees, Chris Cohorst, is one of our bikers. Peter and Tracy Fluke from WeBike. Scott Stino from the Bike Hub. George Kopitz from Broken Spoke. Glenn Schmidt from Green Bay Bicycle Collective. Gus Schwiso from Pete's Garage. Randy Bailey from Stadium Bike. Laura Gravogel from Swamico Bike. And then we had some statewide representation. We've got Cassie Mordini from Travel Wisconsin and the Office of Outdoor Rec. And we had a number of bicyclists, or 4 bicyclists from Green Bay Police Department. We're pleased that they helped us today. Thanks to them. Officers Mahoney, Young, and Ayers. And then in Milwaukee, we had Jake Newborn from Wisconsin Bike Fed and some bikers from the Milwaukee Bubbler program. So they helped us out in the city of Milwaukee. And now we'll proceed to our unveiling. And it's the NFL draft, of course. And it's our pleasure to have the NFL represented here today. He was with us in Milwaukee to receive the handoff. And now he's here at Lambeau Field to help unveil our clock. Please introduce NFL Executive Vice President and Wisconsin native, Jeff Miller. Jeff.
Thank you, Aaron. It is a terrific honor on behalf of the NFL to be here to complete the handoff and welcome the NFL draft to Green Bay, Wisconsin, finally. Aaron and I were doing a little research, and the last time the draft was held in the great state of Wisconsin was December 1939 at the Schroeder Hotel in downtown Milwaukee. I don't think anybody here was in attendance. So it's a whole new crop and a whole new experience for everybody. We started moving the draft out of New York in 2015 and have visited Chicago and Nashville, Philadelphia, Dallas, Las Vegas, and last year Detroit. And every city has put its own stamp on the draft. And looking out at the number of people assembled in the atrium today, I have no doubt that the 775,000 people who attended the draft in Detroit will not be a difficult bar for Green Bay, Wisconsin to beat. Regardless of the attendance, the NFL is thrilled to celebrate with the city of Green Bay and Mark and the Green Bay Packers the history and tradition of this franchise and the history of NFL football and the important part that the NFL and the Green Bay Packers play in the state of Wisconsin and in this community. So we are looking forward to the draft just as much as you are, and can't get ready soon enough for April 2025. And with that, Aaron, I welcome Mark's comments and enjoying the unveiling just as well as everybody else here.
Thank you, Jeff. We are so proud to have the draft and please the NFL trust us with this great honor. And to bring us to our unveiling, our Packers leader, who, when he first saw the NFL take the draft on the road, said, "We need to get that to Green Bay." Mark Murphy.
Thank you, Aaron. So I'm going to say a few words, but I was wondering, could you hold this ball for me? Well, there you go. Two-handed. Oh, you got your cell phone. What are you supposed to do? Oh, there you go. How's everybody doing? Everybody having fun yet? So I'll try to be brief, but we are so excited to be here and welcome our writers to celebrate our Packers' unique tradition. I really think the bicycle tradition, which started in 1958 with Vince Lombardi, it's something, I think, the most special tradition in the NFL. It's the connection between the community and the team, and particularly the kids, and just really proud. And you'll see it's going to be an integral part of the draft for us. As Jeff mentioned, we're so honored to host the NFL draft here in Green Bay and to represent not just Green Bay, but the entire state of Wisconsin. I want to give special thanks to Commissioner Goodell, who had the faith and the confidence in us, Jeff Miller. Jeff was an easy sell. I shouldn't say that. You can say he's, and everyone at the NFL. We're by far the smallest market to ever host a draft. But as Jeff said, we have an awful lot of great things going on. I think this will be probably the best draft ever held. Yes. So earlier we were in Milwaukee. We had a chance to thank Governor Evers, who's been very, very supportive, Secretary Sayers, and the Wisconsin legislature for their support of the draft. Now the attention turns to Lambeau Field, the Packers, Green Bay, and the entire state. Yes, you followed us. She was in Milwaukee. She is the most enthusiastic fan we have. Thank you. And it's an opportunity for us to celebrate football and welcome visitors. Preparations have been undergoing for years, as Jeff said. Shortly after the league started taking the draft on the road, we petitioned the league and said we really want to host it here in Green Bay with our history and our tradition. And is there a more iconic stadium in the NFL than Lambeau Field? No. We have such a great team here in terms of our Packer employees. Really want to give a lot of credit to Gabrielle Dow, who's kind of led the effort. Where's Gabrielle? Raise your hand. Our team included Megan Roberson, Candy Goltz, Aaron Popke, who you heard from, Anna Jacobson, Krista Jorgensen, heading up our pro shop, Jen Pretzborn, Seth Hatherley, and many, many others. Would also want to thank our senior executives, our senior staff, for their support of the pursuit of the draft and now all the plans that are going into actually hosting it. Ed Policy, Russ Ball, Craig Benzel, Doug Collins, Nicole Ledvina, Maureen Smith, and Jason Wallers. How about a round of applause for all of them? And then our Board of Trustees and our Packers Executive Committee, led by Susan Finko, our lead director, have been so supportive all along, and this wouldn't have been possible without their support. And many, many other members of our staff have been and will continue to work hard to have this be the best draft yet. You know, another part of our great team is our host committee, led by Chair Michael Haddad and Vice Chair Kate Burgess. Other committee members include Nancy Armburst and former Packer player George Koontz. How about a round of applause for George? Yes. I don't know, did they do that? We did it for John Kuhn. I'm not, it started. Oh. In order to be able to host an event like this, we really needed to raise an awful lot of money from donors, and so many have stepped forward across the state. Do want to give special thanks to Delaware North, great concessionaire, Kohler Company, wonderful hospitality company, obviously not far from here, Myron Construction, Oneida Casino, Associated Bank, Aaron's, make sure you don't drop that, all right. Aaron's Company, Bell and Health, Bellmark, Bergstrom Automotive, Festival Foods, Green Bay Packaging, Snap Pickling Company, and Schneider Trucking. How about a round of applause for all of them? We also want to thank the team at Discover Green Bay. They were at every stop. They started in Milwaukee and they went the entire way with all the bikers up to here. Where's Brad Toll? Brad, thank you, Brad. And we have many, many community partners who have been instrumental and will be instrumental in hosting the draft. PMI, City of Green Bay, Brown County, and the Village of Ashwaubenon. We're looking forward to the impact this will bring. Jeff has set the bar high. It's going to pass 770,000. We know there'll be a huge crowd. We're excited about it. This will be the biggest event ever held in Green Bay, and we're really, really looking forward to it. In addition to the visitors here in person, millions will be watching on TV, and the economic impact will be more than 90 million across the state. So it's really significant. It'll be a 3-day commercial for Green Bay and Wisconsin, and how special it is to live here and all the things that we have and enjoy. Really very fortunate. Also want to give a lot of support to the Green Bay Brown County Stadium District. They've been very supportive of the entire process that we've gone through. So now that we know we're on the clock and we're here and Green Bay is up next, let's unveil the clock. The clock that will count us down and continue to build excitement for this once-in-a-generation opportunity. Can you all follow me? Everyone with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How about that? Thanks again for coming.
All right, thanks, Mark, and there we go. 345 days, 10 minutes, and 45 seconds. So really appreciate everyone coming out today. Thank you again to all our partners. Thanks again to our bicyclists, bikers, and all our kid bikers. Really enjoyed the day, and look forward to seeing all of you here throughout the next year as we count down to the draft, and certainly invite all of you to be a part of the draft when it arrives next April. And with that, that concludes our remarks here from the podium. Would love to have the kids stick around for some more photos. Members of the media, happy to help out and answer questions for you as well. Thanks so much.
And there you have it, the official clock unveiling. It is game time. We are now on the clock to the NFL draft. You just saw there the unveiling, hearing from Mark Murphy there. We're the smallest market to host the draft, but I think we make up with that with our passion as Packers fans. And I don't know about you, but watching that entire thing, I couldn't wipe the smile off my face. So just a little bit more here as we wrap up. So the countdown to the draft is on. We watched as they brought that ceremonial football that you saw Mark Murphy hand to a little girl there holding the football. We watched as it got handed off from a ferry from Michigan in Milwaukee, and then they biked it all the way here to Titletown, getting in the area around 6:30. Then I can show you that photo again of it getting to the practice field, and then the kids escorted it all the way to Lambeau Field, that tradition that we have with the Packers players and kids helping the Packers to their training facility. And so a really cool tradition here in Wisconsin, highlighting the outdoors, all the activities. And they're expecting hundreds of thousands of people to head to Northeast Wisconsin for the draft. Again, we are officially on the clock. The countdown is underway, and it's going to be like a 3-day commercial, like they said, for next year, bringing in more than $90 million of economic value to Green Bay. And so you followed along with us all day, kind of following that path, the pedal to the draft all day. We had crews kind of stationed throughout. But you can find all of that right on our website. And let me show you where that all is. We make it really easy for you to follow along here on our Action 2 News website. If you look towards the top, you got news, watch live, weather, and there you got it. The 2025 NFL Draft. That's going to have all of our stories coming up. We are starting a series that'll air Wednesday every week until next April for the NFL Draft. So we'll have weekly updates on everything. All the planning underway. There's been a ton of planning, as Mark Murphy says. They've been trying to get the draft here, starting planning, looking at things in 2015. It is finally here 10 years later, and that planning is just going to ramp up and get bigger, and we are going to be there every step of the way. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight in the Action 2 News newsroom. That unveiling of the clock, will have much more coverage for you tonight on Action 2 News at 10. The countdown is on to the draft as it's underway.